make changes. Might mess with the 2-mana removal spells, or may need to get some Eldritch Reborns in the deck, may want to get rid of the Bell Haunt, who knows. Depends on what we're going to get paired versus. I really feel like I want one more land in the deck, but that's probably just asking to be slapped in the face. Oh wow, we're playing versus a diamond when we're in the top 500 or whatever. That doesn't seem like where you want to be. I think that increases the odds that we're going to get paired versus an aggressive deck as well. Should have started with the white one, but Gates. Nexus. Well, this is a match that is very, very bad for us. And we mulliganed and have 3 bad cards in our hand already, so terrible, terrible, terrible sign. And they had absolutely no fear. That's a pretty bad sign too. The game's probably over. Because I don't think you jam the first one if you don't have a second one, and we just have nothing going on. Hey, George. I think it's more likely they have 2 in their hand if they just slam one like that. Because of the Chemist's Insight. Well, I take that back. Well, never mind. I'm going to lose like 400 rating when I lose this match. Maybe 450. So there's only 2 people that showed up to draft tonight. None of the new players did. The 2 players that showed up were both employees. Well, I guess one might not technically be an employee, but they're in charge of Magic. The other one is definitely an employee. I wish I could just press F6 here and not have to click OK every time they play a thing. It's kind of weird that they left one random untapped mana. I guess that it's obviously for a Nexus, but alright, well if they take another turn we get to concede. Assuming that flips. It doesn't technically flip yet. Won't concede until it technically flips. And I believe it now. No, still doesn't flip. This is the only match that I consider actually bad. Any wilderness deck. Don't want any of those. Definitely don't want that. Don't think I want these. Definitely don't want these. Probably don't want all of these, but do want some number. Actually, contempts are probably worse than just cast downs. Because with the cast downs, we might be able to stop Biogenic Ooze from getting a trigger. That card's practically dead too. Might as well bring this one in. You can see why this match is so terrible. Like, we literally can't even take out all our bad cards. Alright, we keep it. And hope to draw Search for Azcanta. Huh? So they have Frilled Mystic and Nezahal. Multiple Mystics, so... Please no negate. Still have to play it though. Spell Pierce. Womp womp. And now we're dead. Nice run out, opponent. Oh, we get to get the Nezahal here. But that doesn't really help us any. Hey Sage, what's up? Guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and play it. It literally can't resolve. They already have a counter spell, but I don't want them playing Chemist's Insight for free. Though technically they can play Chemist's Insight for free anyway. It's just it's not a winnable match. Sometimes you get lucky and get like a turn 1 or 2 discard spell and or search into Thief. You can like steal games, but it's not real common. Well, can't concede until they play a like search for a Cantha type effect. A lot of Nexuses you keep drawing with no search both games. I gave up on it as soon as you showed me the list. That's so smart. They had 21 at Sean's tonight. Which is pretty sweet for Sean. Can I concede yet? I refuse to concede until they show me a search. Now, I think just normal Nexus is the hardest match. But any Reclamation deck in general is a hard match. So, like, all the Reclamation decks are your hard matches. I think just normal Simic Nexus is your hardest match, though. I think it's easier to beat Niv Mizzet than it is to beat Infinite Turns. Because when they have infinite turns, they can just save their mana, save their mana, save their mana, save their mana, start playing Nexuses on your turn, which makes you have to use counter spells, or they just get to bury you with their massive amount of mana. Whereas the Niv Mizzet decks can't really do that. At some point, they have to play 6 mana at some point. The Nexus decks, or like have to use 6 mana, and like you have some counterplay there where like, sure, you're not favored in those games ever, but like like being able to use a removal spell on a Niv Mizzet is a game that you can sometimes win, but you just cannot. You just really cannot beat this deck if they draw reasonably well. That's okay, George. I'm dead in 3 turns maximum anyway. But all the Reclamation decks just dump on you. I don't think any of the other matches are bad, though. I actually think you're favored versus Mono Blue. I think you're favored versus Mono Red. I think you're favored versus Mono White. I think you're favored versus all of those Gruul decks. I think you're favored versus Sultai. Now, clearly, a lot of those matches are close. You know, like you don't beat Mono Blue 100% of the time. Like it's a very, very close match. But like I think you have the edge. So I kind of liken the Esper deck to the old Jund decks. They're like, you're a marginal favorite versus almost everything with a few bad matches, but a lot of it comes down to play skill and draws. Or like how they prepare for you. Like if a mono blue deck decides they want to beat Esper, and they add a few cards in their deck, like that'll shift the paradigm of the match. The same thing with mono red or whatever as well. Anyone not playing Lifelink won a match. Well, I have a lot of Lifelink in my deck, so I don't think you're talking about me. Hey, yeah, I will try to gain life. Hey, yeah, I will cast this other negate that I don't think does anything. Hover over to good game. Good game, opponent. I'm guessing 350 to 400 points losing to somebody in Diamond. No, that's not nearly as bad as I thought. It was just 250. I mean, I'll play you if you want Sage. I don't care. Throw me up a gamer tab if you want to play. I can play any deck that you want to play versus. I was playing best of 3. Yeah, you lose to, like, sometimes you get the wrong draws, but my biggest complaint with Esper is, like, the mana doesn't line up particularly well. Like, needing to have 2 black and 2 white in a good number of games while also wanting 2 blue in the early portions of a good number of games is kind of an issue. Sometimes you just draw like 3 buddy lands and you draw like no watery grave, or you know, like you draw no shock land or like basic land, and you're just behind the entire game. And then like if there was more things for you to do in the early game to ensure you get mana drops, or to help you, you know, like say I get paired up and I'm played versus mono red and I draw 2 absorbs and nothing to kill a creature, like you can lose those games. It's just something to smooth the early turns. But there's not really a lot. I've often wondered if just like adding another search for Azcanta is good enough. Apparently that is not the right key. What do you click? Oh, there we go. So here's my number. I think you need it. Maybe this lets me copy it. It does copy it. I put it in chat if you need it. Apparently that's not how I do that. How? Oh, challenge options up here. Best of 3 coin flip. Gotcha. Win. But I do think it's a pretty powerful deck. It's what I think is arbitrarily the strongest deck in the format. It's just a smidge inconsistent. Or I think mono red's one of the most consistent decks in the format, but its power level is not as high as some of the other decks, which is why I play a lot of mono red on the stream. I do think Frenzy's a nice get out of jail free card as well. But my opinions don't matter. I'm not a particularly good player, as you can see by my low rating. I think there was a time where like potentially I was good, and then I got sick, and then like kind of lost my brain when I got sick for a year, and then after that got way too casual, and then I got to a point where I got burnout and then didn't stop. I think all of that has affected my play skill quite a lot. I think I'm like pretty average now. Pretty average for somebody who tries to play tournaments. I mean, obviously I'm probably better than like a standard Friday Night Magic player or like kitchen table player, but like not by much. Like I'm pretty close to that level, I think. I do not know if Sage is coming to play. But never stop. That's the rule. Keep playing. Yeah. A third of my viewers have left while I've waited on this game. We got Pimp Donnie in the chat though. We got Blade Ogre pretending like he's not here. I see you, Blade Ogre. You can't hide from me.
You still stressed about buying our first house?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
ESPN's playing sounds.
Asked, Ken, because I actually brought some tarot cards.
I don't know how to make it stop.
For divination.
Wireless.
Quit it, ESPN. Alright. Whenever Sage is ready, I guess we'll try that again. But I'm going to go into another match now since, you know, dead air and all that. Bow, 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 bow. 99%. Only have about an hour and 5 minutes left tonight. Maybe an hour and 15. Then we get to watch Griffin. Yeah, we got some lands. We're just gonna hope they're not playing red. He's probably sad that the Lakers lost again. Oh, cool. It's very likely another Reclamation deck. Did Reclamation decks all of a sudden become the new hot? I did not know Reclamation decks were hot. If so, we're probably not going to be able to continue playing this deck. Goodbye, Kai. You'll be missed. If they're Nexus, I can no longer win. Kind of didn't think about that and just played the Kyle on autopilot. So let's hope that they're Niv Mizzet and that we have a chance. Actually, we still technically can win. If they don't make the right plays and we hold 4 fault erasures, we can still technically beat the Nexus builds. Fire Cannonade usually means that they're a Niv Mizzet build. Not always, but usually. Oh, I have to try to counterspell it. Wee. I assume I'm already dead. Anytime the spell resolves, I just assume the game's over. We cast our only counterspell on it. Not a lot else we can do. So we could have Chemisters inside and looked for a negate for this turn. But there's only one negate in the deck. That doesn't feel worth it. Why would they leave exactly 7 mana up? Are they Nexus? Guess they're Nexus then, if they're leaving 7 mana up? Because that's a weird number to leave up. They not want to discard the hand size, I guess? I'm not sure. Kind of weird that you go to second main phase for that. It's not a spell I'm able to kill. There's nothing I can really do about any of this stuff. I tried to play you, Sage. The game just never started. Oops, it's not the right one. I had to put this one here. Like, we waited for 5 or 6 minutes. No worries. Oh god. So now I'm just dead. They'll have another explosion. They're like 29 cards deep in their deck. They'll definitely have another explosion. Or like a syncopate or something anyway. Double blinkety ass, sure. Doesn't really matter what it is, we can't win. Our printer's going wild. Okay. That was kind of the slowest killing me ever, but that's fine. Don't really have a lot to bring in. Arguably bring these in. Does nothing, does nothing, does nothing. Does not much, but enough that I'll keep them in just in case they get a Biogenicooz that goes wild. I've not saw Nexus, so I don't know if I want Kai or not. Probably don't. Even though it does kind of keep Search for Azcanta in line, it's probably just not worth the mana. Oh, you don't do best of 3. Fair enough. Oh wow, just 35 hours. That's pretty new to the game. This hand's insane if we had a blue mana. Don't think we can keep it though where we don't. Hand's not very good. Double Hostage Taker's already bad. Thief of Sandy's not particularly good because they're unlikely to have sideboarded out their Shivan Fires, but with this type of draw, like I literally have to slam Thief on 3 assuming I draw to land. And as stated, there's the Shivan Fire that we expected. I have to keep the land. Don't draw the answer, please. Thank you. Just have to dodge this turn. What do we got? Ooh, Wilderness is a nice one. Doesn't really do anything with the current hand we have, but it's still a nice one. That's a weird card to cast there. Honestly, don't quite understand it. I guess I don't care about the Niv Mizzet. Fortunately, we don't have 2 blue. Assume they're going to kill us. Oh wow, they didn't. So take their Syncopate then. Either way, they get to kill our thing now. Gonna make them take both turns to do it though. And then maybe we'll be able to resolve the Wilderness if they tap out to go for it. The cool thing about that Syncopate is it doesn't use our only blue mana. But I had to use the Syncopate on that turn because if they'd hit a land drop this turn, I wouldn't have been able to Syncopate. But that worked out well. I don't think they would have conceded if they'd known how bad our hand was. Like, if our hand was face up, they probably don't concede there. Alright, well, what you're saying is we've got a chance. I don't think I changed anything from the play to the draw. Still don't really love these hostage takers, but... But YOLO. So 35 hours. What made you decide you wanted to give Magic a try? Always interested. Oh, this hand's hot. I don't know whether I'm supposed to play Search or Fault Erasure. I'm going to assume Fault Erasure. It's the less powerful of the two, but potentially the most powerful when we're trying to set up a Thief of Sanity. Oh, Magic's not new to you, just Arena. Okay, I understand now. Well, let's get rid of this thing that we can't really kill anyway. Oh, sorry, I was in a 2 out of 3 match. This is just game 3. I apologize. It looks like they didn't draw it. That's good for us. Ooh, that's a nice draw. Can we get our land? One time. 26 land deck. Don't miss the 4th land. Thank you, deck. Well, I certainly want this one. Don't you draw it. Don't you draw it. Why, they shocked. Interesting. I will also shock then. I can do anything you can do, but not as good. Guess I'll take that. And be prepared to get got. If I had a land in my hand, I'd be tempted to expansion that. That's Niveruni. That's not the land that I always dreamed about. Can't see any reason they would block here, or not block here, but I can always try. Get. I possibly should have mortified there because of the Thief of Sanity. But I just assumed I'm going to have to use a counter spell. Anyway. To counterspell their counterspell. Nothing smaller? I don't really know what you mean. I'm sorry. Yeah, well. We got issues. I think I want this turn. I'm going to shock myself again because I want to be able to leave up Mortify and Negate. So we've got one expansion, one Niv Mizzet, 2 Killing Phoenixes so far. Killing Phoenix is kind of cool out of that sideboard. I'll counterspell your explosion with your explosion. We'll go ahead and put a stop here just in case they play a Reclamation. They have 5 cards practically in their hand because of this Chemister's Insight. And 1,000,000 mana. So not a good sign. Need to get, like, out of the next 2 turns kind of alive. Well, kind of got out of it alive, I guess. Go and put that stop there. So what's the most they can do here? They have 3. They can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're still alive. Guess we take the ferry. Boom. You got a way to kill me? Just a nexus? No way to kill me, that's interesting. Hey Tuffy, what's up man? Long time. I thought you were going to start streaming again. I figured you'd be back in with Arena. What did I get rid of? A Shivan Fire? So that's the 3rd explosion that's gone. I'm definitely going to take that one. You got busy and moved? Do you still do the like grasswork type work and stuff, or did you move on to a different type? I really just don't want to tap my mana here, so kind of confused. Alright, goodbye. They just gave up, even though I think they were a massive favorite to win. It's kind of interesting. Why did they give up? Did they sideboard out the last explosion or something? Nice. Do you guys still do the yard work and stuff? I know you had a bunch of people that like did property maintenance. I guess that's a better word to say than yard work. Oh wait, shoot! I said I was gonna play Sage. I forgot. So Sage doesn't want to play best of 3. Just wants to play best of 1. Alright. I got the game trying again, Sage, whenever you're ready. That's pretty cool though, the fishing business. My buddy Anaraf, which I guess you probably got here, but this guy up here just opened a brick and mortar hobby shop, which is pretty sweet. Well, I guess technically moved from a warehouse to a mall, so it's kind of like opening. Really? It exploded. That's pretty sweet. Congratulations, man. Glad things are going well. Not Sage still here? Yeah, still in chat. We've ran Pimp Donnie off though. Pimp Donnie didn't want to watch no more. Fishing, disc golf, and now MTG. My local hobby shop, the one that's closer to me, like 30 minutes away, wanted to add fishing items and hunting items to their back room, but not a single one of his employees knows anything about fishing or hunting, and he, at the time, was not a hands-on boss. His manager left, so now he's a hands-on boss again, but like, you can't sell fishing equipment and hunting items without knowing what you're talking about, right? Like I couldn't sell another fisher a rod and reel because I know nothing about them. And more importantly, I think most of the people that are fishers or hunters like to come in and converse with other fishers slash hunters, you know? Like, I think one of the parts that makes brick and mortar stores successful is, you know, being able to relate to the people that you're doing business with and stuff like that, right? So like for example, I know nothing about cars. Why would you ever hire me to sell a car? $20K is about 3 times our population. I think we're sitting at about $7K now. Over an hour, wow. Let's look up Matt's deck. I guess Sage is in another match, so we'll just move on. Well, you're back on Esper mid-range. Esper mid-range is sweet. I need to try some Esper mid-range at some point. So many Seraphs. This sounds fine. So many Seraphs. Here's a link to Esper Hub. Let's check it out. Red deck wins. This hand's pretty medium versus red deck wins. So, bunch of deputies, the full 4 hostage takers, and 2 ravenous troops. 10 4-drops. Okay, not red deck wins, so very excited about that. Not a single removal spell inside unless I'm overlooking them. Well, I guess technically your hostage takers, chupacabras, and detention spears are removal spells. So I stand corrected. Goodbye, Crackle. Do I want a random removal spell for a Crackling Drake that they're going to cast next turn? I think I'm fine with it, because I think the odds that if they're playing Electromancer that they're using Arcbound Phoenix is kind of likely, so I can just save my Vraska's Contempt. Scape Gateless. MJ was saying he liked the idea of scape shifting gates. I'm going to go ahead and do this before they have a chance to have a dive down or a spell pierce. Don't know how likely it is when they've already showed us a radical idea and an Electromancer, but there's no reason to take a risk if I don't have to. If they get a Phoenix, they get to buy it back this turn for sure because they already have a radical idea and a shock and all they need is 1 land. But we saved a Contempt for that. I like the idea of it. It's like just gain 1,000,000 life. It's pretty cool. That's 1,000,000 more Seraphs. Matt's all about this Seraph life. So I'm glad I saved a Contempt. Opponent still has a bunch of cards though. It chose you. That's one card that I think I've severely undercast. Like, I think that card's good, and I don't think I've cast it nearly enough. It's actually insanely sweet too. Like, even if you have like a mediocre draw and just have a Guild Summon in play and like Scape Shift for 4, you get to draw 4 cards. Like, clearly that's not the best use of Escape Shift ever, but what I'm talking about, like, that's kind of like some of its worst case scenarios. Alright, well, they have another Phoenix. And we don't currently have an answer for this Phoenix, so I'm going to start with this. If we get a moment of craving, we might hold it up. If not, we're just going to Thought Erasure. No, none of those cards do anything. I don't have a creature in my main deck. Yeah, I definitely think the card is really, really neat. Definitely interested in seeing it. I know Who Cares, a regular, was pretty excited for gate lists as well. Um, Hopefully we'll hit a cry. But if we don't hit a cry, we can at least mortify to gain 3 life. Alright, that's not a cry. But it's gain 3 life. Electro Dominance. That's pretty cool too. I have a relatively high life total still. That's kind of weird that they're using the Radical Idea now. But what do I know? All I know is it's Teferi time. Yeah, opponent's done. Teferi time's often enough. What do I have this good versus Phoenix? Lyras are okay. I don't think I want Bell Haunts. I think Moment of Cravings are probably better than Cast Downs. Actually, no, that's not true. Cast Down still gets Drake. So these are the cards I can consider. Probably don't want most of them, though. Thinking about Mortify. Maybe Mortify is just too expensive, but it's another multi-purpose removal spell. Really struggling on the last card. They do have Niv Mizzets, which is why I don't really want to get rid of the Mortifies or the Contempts. Cast Down can't hit Niv Mizzet, but it does hit Crackling Drakes and Electromancers, which Electromancer is probably their best card. They also bring in Ralzarix. They're a difficult deck to sideboard for. I'm not opposed to bringing in a Hostage Taker, but I don't know what to take out for the 60th card, much less, another card. I guess I'm just going to do this, mainly because I ran out of time and couldn't think anymore. But I'm definitely not opposed to Hostage Taker. I think this hand's fine. Afrika versus Griffin in 29 minutes. I'm pretty excited. The main reason I don't bring in Thief is because like every creature in their deck for the most part is just a random spell that has flying. So like even if I have a turn 3 thief and they just like untap turn 4 crackling drake or untap turn 4 phoenix, then like my thief does nothing unless I also have counter spells. Now that we know they have Sorcerer Spyglasses, we'll be taking out more copies of Teferi. I always take out some copies of Teferi, but I'll take out more now that I see this card. Feel like I need to take this card now. I'm actually going to leave that. So I took out one copy as a hedge, but probably take out 2 copies now. Maybe bring in that Hostage Taker we were just talking about. It's kind of interesting. They're just throwing this out for no value. They know I'm going to kill it. They've already saw my removal spell. Wow, they left both cards on top. It's kind of interesting too. Mortify kills creatures and enchantments, but not artifacts. Unfortunately. Putrefy was from the same block and it killed creature and artifacts, but it was 1 green, 1 black, 1 colorless. Ooh. Opponent drew 2 back-to-back sweet ones. Could have some problems this game. I don't want them just drawing 2-3 cards. Definitely don't need that. So I have 5 cards in my graveyard. Whatever. I'm going to get their opt as well. Ooh, I want this one, but I don't have the lands to play it. Could just keep it and hope to get lucky. I don't think I'm into the keep it and hope to get lucky world. Especially assuming I'm considering they'll have beacon boats. It gave them priority there. I wonder if they have a negate because they took a little bit of a pause, or if they're just going to do the radical idea stuff again. I guess they have to have counter spells because they're not getting this Arclight Phoenix in the graveyard. They seem to not care about it. Kind of indicates to me that they have to have counter spells. Just in case it's a Spell Pierce, I'm going to go ahead and flip that. Normally I wouldn't flip it because you get an extra scroll the following turn. I have a Kai and 1 more Lyra, yeah. It is certainly damaged, but I wouldn't go as far to say dead. The Q times are a lot higher, and things of that nature. Yeah, well, this was kind of as expected. Use a counterspell now, I could just be dead too. Or if I use a contempt and they have a counterspell, I would just be dead. Or if they even had a dive down. So I feel like I have to pass. Try to kill them the slow way. Which is obviously going to require a lot of luck with us at 1, but we would have died to that, so... And we're dead anyway. Alright, let's put that back in and put that in and potentially this in and start thinking a little bit now about what we might want to change. Hey, I still play a lot of MTGO. I kind of like it still. Maybe I just take out the Duresses. I think their deck plays pretty well off the top anyway. Like, they have the Ilmo CS is still there, and now they have the format challenges, which is 12 new ways over the course of the year to qualify for the Pro Tour, which is pretty sweet. Actually, it's 16, right? There's 4 format challenges. Ugh! Now, this hand sucks, but I'm not going to go to 5. And then they're releasing New Horizons, which is going to be a modern-only set. Potentially, that'll give us some life. It seems Draft apparently barely fires on MTGO at the moment. I can't say that with personal experience, but it's what I have been told. And people apparently just like Arena Draft. I like Arena Draft a pretty fair amount as well, but I do like drafting versus humans a little bit more. My biggest complaint about Arena Draft is I generally like only drafting the new set, and the new set's not always up for ranked. It currently is, but like we just had Ixalan and we just had Rivals. Well, cheaper to draft is relative, right? Based upon your draft skill. That's fair. I got lucky and got out of MTGO at a good time. And have been blessed enough to be win a year of Mana Traders and then get sponsored for a second year of Mana Traders. So I've been insanely fortunate, or I wouldn't be able to play MTGO. I think play points is one of the worst things they ever did. But that's just me. I'm not, I don't like the play points. Hey Sage, welcome back. Hey, cool, we hit our land. I cast Fault Erasure. Let's party. If you negate it, you negate it. I'm not going to fight for it. Goodbye, Fault Erasure. You'll be missed. Think it's too punishing if they just untap and have a Rouse Eric. Yeah, the DE and PE days were the best, I thought. Fish sticks for the win. Not necessarily sure I even care about that magic card. We have Hostage Takers in our deck, plus the fact that I don't even have Teferi in my hand. So we'll just make that a future problem and not worry about it right now. I'm flipping my computer off right now, but you guys can't see it. The fact that I literally drew Teferi on that draw step. Not that I have a Teferi, but the fact that I drew it on that exact draw step, actively flipping my computer off. Screw you, computer. How do you make tartar sauce? Copy. That probably will work. I guess just counterspell it. Untapped and contempt it. Seems kind of like a waste. But I don't have enough mana to do it any other way. Whatever. I'm just going to cast down it and go on about my day. If they want to use a Spell Pierce on a cast down, I'm uber fine with that. I don't care really to take this 3 damage. actually just going to do it again as well because I don't want to get opened up to if they have a Rouse Eric for their last card. How do you make Sears' sauce? You basically just pour ranch dressing on everything. That's how you make Sears' sauce. They kind of have 2 dead cards in their hand already, so I think it's pretty unlikely that they buy back Arclight Phoenix this turn. But even if they do buy it back this turn, we have a Vraska's Contempt, and I'm just waiting for the 4th mana for a negate. Yeah, well, that earns a counterspell. Me and my deck are going to have issues. I want lands. I don't want to just die to a Rouse Eric, though. That's fine. Again, I don't care about those. I'm living in eastern Kentucky. The land of missed opportunities and people who like ranch dressing. Goodbye, Teferi. I would tell you you'd be missed, but you're not going to be missed. Why? Oh, never mind. I know why. Get out of here, Niv Mizzet. Oh, hello. Don't know why I really kept this. They have multiple beacon boats in their hand. And they clearly have enough creatures to kill it. Think we need to negate the second one? I have multiple hostage takers, though. I think I wasn't supposed to keep the Lyra. I think that was the play mistake. They have a bunch of flooding? Uncool. You guys got hit by that cyclone thingy, right? I think that's what they call it. The bomb boom cyclone or whatever. Hopefully they don't draw a land. I really need another Chemist's Insight though, and I think I sideboarded one out. Yeah, don't care about your opt. If they have another land, I'll be a little disappointed. Well, kind of. That's basically what this deck wants to do. They basically have to have a land here, but I gotta get these out of their hand at some point. I want them both in their graveyard in case we draw Archaea. But basically right now we're looking at our kingdom to draw a Chemist's Insight. Chemist's Insight is basically the only card in the deck I care if I draw. Alright, well, they get a Phoenix back this turn. They got rid of an Electromancer. That almost makes me think the last card in their hand has to be Niv Mizzet. Not using the Contempt. I'm just hoping to draw what you call it? Cryocanarium. I use the Contempt now. I guess I cost myself 3 life. That's unfortunate. I hold that in case we do draw it inside, I guess. I'm just dead. I guess they drew another one because they're typing the word good game. Yep, it is in fact dead. That kind of sucks. I thought we were a mile ahead and I just lost. I wonder where I lost that game at. Keeping that Lyra had to be wrong. That's definitely one mistake, but I don't know if one card changes anything there. What time is it? 47 after. So depending on how fast this goes, I might have time for one more match. Maybe I'm not supposed to sideboard Lyra in. It's been super unimpressive every time I brought it in. On a positive note, this should be a quick match one way or the other. Probably the other based on, our hand being pretty medium. I mean, I respected Spyglass. Oh, you're talking about not counterspelling the first one. I don't know. You could be right, but I didn't. There's only 2 Teferis in my deck, and I only had 1 Teferi in my hand at the time. Or sorry, there was only 2 Teferis in my entire deck. I had 0 Teferis in my hand. Like, it didn't seem like it was a pressing matter. Well, we didn't have a Teferi though. Like, we drew the Teferi after the Spyglass. We have the same amount of hostage takers as we do Teferi. We were just as likely to draw an answer. The opponent's got only 7 points of burn in their hand. Guess they have another light up the stage if they're doing that. Wow, Echo Bravo, or Echo 5 Bravo's still online. Hey Tandy, how you doing today? How was your Diablo 2? I think I would rather just use this right now. Which means I should have played the Hallow Fountain, but I didn't think my turn out. Just kind of cast something at random, which is wrong. Always wrong. I kept them mortifying not because I care about these little things, but because I don't want them drawing an experimental frenzy and just winning. Well, Tandy had a decent amount of viewers up in his house. I think Allegiance drafts back, Tandy, if I'm not mistaken. Considering trying for the old double mythic, also considering not caring about it. How'd you do in the old drafts? Hey, that's a reasonable magic card to draw. Hiya. Teferi! Wah wah. So if they draw anything at all after Teferi's dead, they have only drawn 4 lands so far, so. Yeah, well, I have to try to save it, of course. Nice. Less nice. Are those lands okay? Yeah, I still have enough for Kaya's Wrath. Okay, then. If I play this, I have enough for Chemister's Inside as well? Or like a cast down or whatever? Our boy could be dead. Well, our boy is dead. Now we get to find out how much we care. Oh, we don't care at all. Goodbye, Teferi. You'll be missed. I noticed Nate Carpenter in your chat when I was lurking. I think you were even playing with Nate the other day as well. Should have played the black one, but again, just kind of clicking at random right now. I think it's kind of hard to lose this game. Yeah, you should check out his stream. He is the hero we all need. He served in the armed forces, so we did not have to. I added a, so I used to just have 3 hostage takers, so these are the cards that I used to sideboard out. But this morning I switched from a 3rd hostage taker to a Bell Hunt, and then I added a 2nd Bell Hunt to the deck because I just assumed I was going to get paired versus a lot of red. So I do not know what to take out for the last card now. Which, for anybody who cares, that is not how you properly build a sideboard. You need to think about the cards that you're going to take out and put in when you build it. But I was kind of just rushing to get the stream ready. But when building decks, you need to think about your sideboard. You got all 4 troops in play. You need to think about your sideboard plans, not just the cards you want, but like also the cards you don't want. Because if you want all your cards, you may not have room for everything you put in your sideboard, you know? Which is what we just ran into there. Like I wanted all of my cards, but yet I wanted one more card. So that is what we call loose deck building, or what I call loose deck building. This hand's very similar to last game's hand, but a little worse, so I think I'm going to go ahead and ship it. This hand's not very good either, but I'd be pretty happy with this hand on the play. I'm not real happy with it on the draw. Does he have a sideboard guide for Esper? If so, I have no idea. I've not saw it. But yes, I'm sure that he had a plan when he built it, so that actually counts. That feeds into what I'm saying. I think I want to take this one. Ooh. I kind of want to keep that, but we don't have double blue. The reason I took the Pyromancer is A, this card just does less damage, but B, if I leave him for a 2-drop, he gets an activation from the map that I do not want him to have. kind of quite a few bit of burn spells there. Want them to use as many burn spells as I can get them to use before I play Kaya. Because, obviously, I don't want Kaya to die. What? Or I want Kaya to prevent at least 6 damage. Alright, well, you got me for 2. Oh, I need them to turn that sideways. Then I get to do this. They're going to flip the treasure map this turn, but that's okay with me. I'm going to go ahead and gain my 2, and now they have to deal at least 4 to that, so it's going to gain at least my 6 life. Which is what I wanted. Interesting that it didn't upkeep the map. I guess they already have 2 burn spells for Kaya. Oh, never mind. Could still have a Banefire, but that kind of ruins their map. I'm fine with that. They're wasting a Banefire to kill it. Okay, not wasting a Banefire, but it's still gaining me my 4 life. That's the important part. Not only is it gaining my 4 life right now, it's stopping them from drawing 2 cards. So I should technically play this first. Up we go. Can't imagine any land I'd play over the Drowned Catacomb. But should at least give myself the opportunity. We've got to put a stop before combat. Because I do not want them getting a 3-1 of those. I want to make sure this stop is actually put in. He made harder. Nice, man. Don't care a lot about the runaway. Go ahead and kill this thing. Now do whatever you want. But don't kill our friend the Teferi. Mail's great. Especially if you're a biggin like me. Biggins are the best ones. Ooh. Still have Wrath of Gods in my deck. Can we get one? Nope. I don't want to use the Contempt now because I don't have extra mana anyway, and I want them to potentially attack poorly. Oh god, well. On the positive note, we still have 2 Kai's Wraths in our deck. On the not positive note, this game could be over. Like, next turn. So they're attacking that with everything? Sure. So there's no way to save it. There's no reason to use the contempt. It looks like we're going to lose this game. It felt like we were a million miles ahead. Our opponent just got 4 lands and stopped again for the second game in a row. So we drew 5 more lands than them. Yet they've drawn more cards than us. That's pretty unfortunate. I think I have to use this to even stay alive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I have to use this to even stay alive. Can't imagine what I could draw to win from here. I would have to draw a sweeper and then them brick next turn on the frenzy, then us draw an answer to the frenzy. That doesn't feel likely. Alright, well it wasn't. That's unfortunate. I legitimately thought that game was over. I guess I want this back now that I know that they're playing Legion's War Boss. That's what it's called. Thinking about cutting these out now on the play. Those are one of the things that let me draw cards. Had the exact right amount of relish. What is up with you, deck? Cannot win with this type of hand. Alright, well, we're just going to die. As the 6 cards we saw between our 2 hands, the lowest casting cost was 4. This card is ridiculously good in this match, though. Probably shouldn't have brought the 4th Insight back in. Being too results orientated about drawing 1,000 lands the game before. Swell. I don't even know if it's right to play it. They've showed us Legion's War Boss. It could just be wrong to play that card. If I had a 4th land, I might not have played it. Just gonna play this. It prevents 4 damage. Again, these aren't plays I would make if I had 4 lands. They play a land before they cast a light up the stage? Neat. I don't really know how I beat this card. And I feel like they're going to play it 100% next turn. I guess I'm just going to slam this then. Just to try to prevent damage. Yep, they had another Experimental Frenzy in their hand. Alright, well, we got to draw Mortify. We got to draw it fast. It's not how you use that treasure map, friend. Opponent's making several onboard errors. So that gives me some faith. Ooh, that's a decent draw. That sucks. Where art thou, land? Could cast Kai's Wrath here, but they have about 7 million mana, so that doesn't feel like it's going to do anything. Cast Bell Haunt. Bell Haunt also doesn't really feel like it's going to do anything. What? I've spent almost no time on this turn. Screw you, Arena. It's just going to pass and hold up Contempt. Opponent doesn't know what his treasure maps and stuff are for. And still just winning easily. That's unfortunate. This one land's more important. That's not a land. Let's start attacking now. Why would you ever scry a card to the top? Don't understand. I don't feel like this game's winnable. Even though our opponent's running insanely bad. If they want to block, they can. I don't care. Actually, want to kill this before they have a chance to get a bunch of Wizard's Lightnings going. Race Steamkin's a pretty good one. No extra mana for you. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's fine. It's taking too long. I was supposed to leave 4 minutes ago. Ugh, that's not good. Another 2 lands there. Our opponent's 18 cards deeper in their deck than us, and they've only drawn 3 more lands. They've been scrying, though, like crazy. That's kind of hard to evaluate when you think about it in that term. This game should not be winnable from here. Why does it keep giving me this line when I'm barely spending any time at all on my turns? It just seems odd to me. Oh, neat. Yes. Meow. My biggest concern of this game is whatever's in their hand can just kill me. Hard for me to imagine that they would only have one Banefire in their deck, so whenever they draw the other Banefire, I'm just going to die. The Teferi is one of the sweetest cards, that's for sure. I'm really shocked that I'm dying to somebody who apparently sideboarded out all of their removals or all of their burn spells. Like, not dying to creatures usually isn't hard, but in 24 cards we've not found any answer to a treasure map or any transfer to a frenzy, which are 7 to one and 9 to the other. Also not drawn to absorb or anything. Need to draw our other Kai's Wrath. They've not had to cast a second Experimental Frenzy for whatever reason. Pretty unlucky for us. Normally they'd have 2 in play, which would be pretty cool. Guess I have to take the 2. Which just makes me dead to even more things. Well, none of you do anything. You also do nothing. And I am officially dead. I have 0 out. And that card's not very common. We've already saw Banefire and Treasure Map, so there's almost no chance that they're playing that. Every card on... The rest of these cards feel like they all should have to be lands. Because why else would you have put any of them on the bottom the entire game? I don't understand that. You still have a Chain Whirler? Why? Why do you still have a Chain Whirler? Well, I'm dead now. I don't get why there was still a Chain Whirler at the bottom of their deck. I mean, I couldn't win anyway. Obviously, they could just blow the Experimental Frenzy and use any number of these cards to kill me. Well, we didn't drop below 1,000, which was the goal tonight, which is kind of unfortunate that we didn't drop below 1,000. We lost some matches that I didn't think we could lose. We got paired versus multiple Nexus decks, though we beat one of them. I'm not particularly happy with how I played or I sideboarded. But either way, my time is up and I must go. Talk to everyone later and thank you all for stopping by. I guess I have enough people on that I'll look for somebody to host real quick. Before I go get a burrito and watch my League of Legends. Yeah, Juice is on, so I guess Juice gets hosted. The only person I follow that is playing Magic live. Take care, thanks for stopping by, Tuffy, and Sage, and everyone else, and Matt.